Hey everyone, welcome to Bigedude's WhateverCast, episode number 4. I hope you're having a great today, whenever you are listening to this, whatever. I'm recording this about 10 minutes before March 31st, 2025. So by the time it'll be over, it'll be, the end of March. And today, I'm going to talk a little bit about stuff that I did this last week because I took a few days off of streaming and creating, things for this and that and the other thing. And I thought about why I needed to. And today's episode is going to be about taking breaks. And sometimes it's important to remember that breaks are so important, not just for making things and creating things and just in general. Like a lot of times we're all working really all the time, or there's so many other things that we have going on. It's easy to forget about self-care, and sometimes people run on empty so much that it just causes a lot of hurt when you crash out. You know what I mean? So today I'm going to talk about a little bit about why I took a couple of days off. And then some things that I've experienced through my world that, in a way to maximize the break, as I like to call it. And just sometimes people don't have a whole lot of time for mindfulness or just clarity and just taking a break. And I'm just going to talk about some of the things that I've done personally that when time is limited or not perfect, because there's no such thing as perfect timing. I mean, when you need a break, you need a break. And it's important to take them, or else we kind of go a little crazy. And the world is already a little crazy, a little too much, in my opinion. And remember, everything that I talk about here, these are just my opinions and thoughts and hopes and dreams and goals and the stuff that makes me me. I'm just talking regularly. I feel like my voice vibrating. And it is very soothing. So some people may fall asleep to these because I do a whole thing. This came from the late night piano stuff that I do on live streams to help people sleep. But it's mostly just for me to unload my brain and all the things I'm thinking about in that moment, and just to let go of everything and just to be in that moment, just to no outside stuff, just piano, just my voice, just the amazing background is going on. And today we have arkadia.xyz. This is what I like to call Shrek's eyeball. And there's a tree in the middle of it. And that tree is what your goals are for this week, or whenever you want it to, whatever you want it to mean. Who am I to tell you what is what? But this week my goals are to try some new things, because we're just entering April, and I have some cool stuff that I've already got planned. And I'm going to be doing some different things. And I like challenging myself. I like to see. I'm very curious, so I want to learn a lot. And I'm recharged because I took a few days off. And I'm going to talk about that right now, as I said I would. But I just wanted to invite you to write out what your goals are for the week if you want, or whenever you see this in the playlist or whatever. You don't have to do anything, But about this time last week, right after, kind of before the that's not what I really want to talk about episode last week, I was really, really being affected by a lot of stuff. I've, from my own personal stuff, I've been in such a state of wonder, joy, hope, and love. And it's been such a really neat couple of months, where I feel like I'm exactly where I should be at this second in the universe. And everything is going to where it's intended to. I'm attracting all the good stuff that I want in my world, and not chasing anything, just allowing myself to feel the joy and love around me from everyone and everything. And it's been overwhelmingly positive. And so what happened was last weekend, I was seeing that a lot of people, both on Facebook, because I rarely go on Facebook anymore, but like a lot of the people in my world were going through it. Teachers, adults, parents and stuff. And a bunch of people in my Twitter world, or X gonna give it to you world, whatever you feel like calling it. A lot of people were really going through it there too. And lots of times I can feel words as emotions. Like if I read something, I can feel the emotions behind the words. You can see it if you listen to the other ones where I'm doing it live. Remember, if the thing is over here, the data is over here, that means this was recorded not in front of an audience, just for YouTube or the podcast or whatever the heck this becomes into. It is now officially a podcast on YouTube, but I don't know what that means, so cool. But sometimes I will be in mid-sentence and forget everything that I'm doing because I see the beauty of the backdrop in front of me, and I am the soundtrack to it, where I am creating and perceiving at the same time. And that may have just happened there, so I'm going to give myself a second to see if I can remember where I was. But I know we're talking about breaks and that sort of stuff. Oh, okay, here we go. I was really feeling all those wonderful things about myself, all the things that I'm happy in every day and every moment, living with intent, being a genuine person, taking care of those, being a high vibrational person in general, and lots of other things that I'm learning about myself that I think are kind of neat. And maximizing what I can do with my life. All those really positive things, and then all those other emotions. And there were some good emotions in there from everybody else. And what happened was I was feeling it all. I was feeling my almost infinite joy, and seemingly bombarded with infinite concern is a good way to put it. And my brain just said, I don't think I can do that. It's already challenging enough when all the really cool stuff that I have in my heart and my brain, and the way I just perceive everything, and the way that I'm just being a part of all of this. I have a very overwhelmingly positive, life. And when you have so much, not negativity per se, but some, but worry, concern, all these other things, I kind of just felt like I need to step away from this, because it's not making me feel good. It's and sometimes you just have to prioritize yourself. So and I felt it in the way where I said, if I streamed right now, or if I created a video right now, or if I did a voice lesson right now, I would feel anxious. And that's not what I've been about the last bit of my life. I want to just be natural. And if I don't want to do something, or don't feel like I should be doing something, not to force myself, because there's lots of times when you're in a career or school or something where things are forced upon you. Like, you got deadlines for projects, you got deadlines for jobs, you got to get this done, got to get this done, got to get this done. Everything is just so much. And I don't have to do that to myself, because streaming is a hobby, making music is a hobby, all these other things are hobbies, teaching music and lessons are hobbies. It's important for me to just realize that I don't gotta do anything. I can take a little break. And what I did was I decided I was going to take at least 2 days off of all streaming. And I was going to limit myself to 10 minutes or less of Twitter a day, because that's where most of the negativity was feeling it. Even with all of the, I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this stuff. I'm repeating myself a lot today. That's kind of cool. But I just felt a lot of I needed to separate for a little bit. And so what I did was I wanted to take myself out of the equation for creation, and just think of some things, ideate on my own stuff, be off the internet for a lot. And it really, really helped, you know. I watched some streamers that I followed that I haven't watched in a long time, you know. And it's cool to just go through like people that I've encountered for like even just 2 minutes, and just to remember that in this break I could just I did stuff that I normally don't. I don't normally lurk in a chat. I love to talk. I love to be a part of everyone's experience, you know, and I kind of forced myself to lurk for like 1 or 2 minutes in like I don't know, 10 to 50 people's streams over last week. And there were some things that I could see right away where somebody really loves what they're doing, you know, and that was so cool. And then I saw somewhere it seemed like they were part of the machine, where they're just doing what they feel that they have to do because everybody else is doing it, and they don't know why they're doing it. And I could feel that within like 1 or 2 minutes just watching certain streams. And I would never say anybody who they were, but I will say this: the majority of the people that I thought were having more fun and all that stuff, they were all kick streamers, you know. I think there's a different vibe there, and I think it's been interesting, you know. And then I got a whole lot of real world logistics stuff done. I still have more stuff that I have planned on going, but I made some new plans. And I also planned for times where I just need breaks. Remember, because this is about taking breaks and stuff, but I found that I almost did some streams on the third day. But then I just said, you know what? I really feel if I just take one more day off from putting myself out there, I'll feel even more refreshed and more prepared for the next things. And because I know that there's some really neat things that I'm going to be trying in April and May. And I felt that this was a good idea and this was a good thing to do. Here is the Cavern of Rebirth. I invite everybody for a minute just to let go of all of the problems in your world. Just take all of a deep breath and hold it. Hold it a little bit longer or let it out. It's okay. I'm just doing it for myself. And just for a second, forget about everything, because it'll all come back in about 2 seconds. Just relax and let it go. That first step, that first breath back, Feels good. I love these things. I love that I feel so connected to something other than myself. And it's just me talking to people that I may never meet or ever encounter. This thing could be alive 30 years from now. I could be gone for a long time by then. And maybe it'll still help somebody. And that's why I do it, because I love it, you know. So, here's what I do when I decide I need to take a break. Sometimes when I really, really want to, I will set the time period of the break. And I'm going to give you some examples of things that I've done for myself that might help you. You know, first off, sometimes a couple of seconds, you know, taking a deep breath. Just a deep breath. And in that moment, you're just letting out all the stress, all the things, saying, hey, you're also giving yourself more oxygen to think about stuff, whatever, dude. You know, blah, 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 blah. A fat old guy on the internet said, hey, breathe, it's fun. But like, if you're breathing and turning off your brain for just a second and just say this to yourself, everything is temporary and I'm taking a breath to clear my mind. It's so simple, because every single thing that you and I will ever worry about is temporary. They will always be solved. Everything is temporary. I am taking a breath to clear my head, or whatever you feel like saying. I don't know. It doesn't like, I'm not going to put it on a freaking t-shirt, you know what I mean? You know, put your favorite words in the chat if you want to. Everything's temporary. I am taking a minute to breathe, or whatever. You know what to do. You're smart. And then sometimes, you know, when you're learning something or working on something, the Pomodoro technique, where you have like certain minutes, like 10 minutes off, 15 minutes on. When you take a break, there's different things that you can do. Sometimes I will do a physical break, where I'll just walk for 10 minutes and just think about whatever I've got on my mind. But I'm just taking a physical break to step away from the work or the topic or the task where it's bothering. Now, remember, these are just some things, and certain breaks you can take in certain places. Don't do this at work. Don't, you know, remember, this is all entertainment purposes only. You know, I just feel like some of you are going to be like, oh, he said I could do this. Whatever, dude. But the whole thing is that the breaks can have a time period, like an hour on, hour off, you know, take a break from the work stuff, but you can work on other things. And there's different levels of breaks. You can take a full break, where what I like to say is I like to float, which means, and I'm going to take some days where I float in this next month too. And what I mean by that is, like, you wake up and you don't have to do anything. And it's funny, on usually the first day where I float, I have some of the most productive times of all time. Like my first day of the 3 days that I took off, I bought plane tickets for my conventions. I bought hotels. I worked on some of the other projects I have to go on. I did some of this. I had some fun playing little games, little non-stressful stuff, and I just got into a whole lot more probably than if I would planned it. And I felt I had a great walk, and it's like I really just filled that space with fun, cool things, and just and some of my favorite streamers were streaming the day, and I really just enjoyed being there, being present with not just the streamers, because it was somebody that was playing GTA RP and stuff, and just the cool people in the chat that I've enjoyed being a part with. It's not just observing the streamer, it's being a part of the community, with all of the other cool people that are, a lot of them that also stream too. So and this was just the first day. Like I felt so productive, and I did a lot of wheeling and dealing in some of my digital collectibles, and I looked up some of the prices on some of my physical collectibles. I did all sorts of things, and listened to some music here and there, and just had a lot of aesthetic experiences, and with no formal official direction. And I had the best time ever, and I was having so much fun doing random stuff that I knew I had a package coming that Tuesday, last week. And I saw that the package would be delivered between like 10:45 and 12:45. So I said, I'm just going to stay up. And I stayed up all night. And it was so much fun. And I did so much silly stuff. And I had the best day ever. And I didn't do anything. I went into the day with zero plans, because that was a break. It was a what I like to call a perception break, where people are not going to perceive me in a live stream. People are not going to perceive me unless like I'm in the store with them in that moment. I'm not going to put new stuff out there. I wanted to just relax and turn my mind off and just see what I felt like doing. I think everybody feels that you got to be on a path to somewhere all the time, and you don't. Like there's that great saying, and I don't know who said it, but not all who wander are lost. Like I wandered around the digital void, just getting into a whole bunch of fun things and not worrying about it, and just being human, and staying out of the drama. If some places were a little bit off, I would leave them, because I was protecting my own peace as well at the same time. So but I knew that I really needed the break, because I know that not just I depend on myself, for my own sanity, because I love streaming. I love being myself in front of people, doing whatever I do. I love that I've been doing this for 16 years, and that I've been on YouTube for 17 years. Like I was talking about a stream the other day, like in November, my YouTube channel could vote if it was a human. It's crazy. And buy lottery tickets and go to the military, etc., etc. But I also know that a lot of people depend on me whether I want them to or not. And I was thinking at some point that a lot of people depend on me, or they're starting to say that they depend on me for these late night things. And I was starting to get a little antsy on that too. But I thought about it, and I said to myself, as long as I am doing these streams, the live ones, where I am just turning my brain off and being in the moment and talking to the people that are there, but it's all just about me just relaxing and forgetting about all of the things in the world if I want. And sometimes people, there's so much joy and wonder in there as well, but sometimes there's a lot of emotions, like good, bad, like a whole lot of stuff, and I have to make sure that i'm in a I'm in the position not just to handle all the wonderful things that people tell me, which I always am. I don't have imposter syndrome, but also to give the weight of when people are really going through stuff, just to be there to listen. And I always say, like, I always ask if somebody wants advice before just giving it to them, because I'm kind of enlightened a little bit. Not everybody that vents about stuff wants the solution. They just want to vent about it, or just to share, to help people feel connected and to feel a bond with somebody. And I totally get that, kind of rambling here, but I kind of, I'm talking about, like, I have to make sure that I'm okay and that I can help myself before I can help other people. It's kind of like on a plane, it's making sure that my mask is secured before I help other people with their masks, if that makes sense. I think that's a good analogy, honestly. Because you can't help somebody else if you really aren't fully helped with yourself. And I think that because of the overwhelming, I've already got all wonderfully overwhelmingly positive things, but also the overwhelming, there was like, it's hard when it's even just this, because of how much I feel like I just radiate joy and cool stuff, and I feel so freaking alive the last couple of months. And it's the first time where I was affected by so many other people at the same time. It was very, very strange week, but I was glad that I was able to recognize this. Like, something feels wrong. Like, I feel antsy about stuff, and I know that I'm not antsy about anything. This is probably other people's feelings. And to know that self-realization because of just these discovery journeys of awesomeness. And I see some people in the world and in my various worlds. So I see other people that are going through journeys themselves like this. Some that only share on Facebook, like, because they're teachers or whatever. Some streamers, some content creators, all sorts of stuff. Some public figures too. And it's neat. But it's important to take a break when you need to take a break. And if you don't know, maybe there's a way for a friend or somebody that knows you very well, to help you know, hey, when's the last break you took? It's like kind of like an adult nap. It doesn't have to be a nap, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, have you had your nap today? No, I didn't. Well, you need one. As an old Vine or whatever, or YouTube thing. Shout out to those people. They're probably like in college now or something. I don't know. But I do like this being about 33 minutes and 33 seconds. And we're going to do that sometimes. And sometimes I'm just going to go and it could be a long one. That could be like hours long. Because the regular streams, they're that long. But it's that interaction with people that really makes them wonderful, But I'm glad I took a few days off, because I really thought about what I want, and I thought about where I have been, and I thought about who I want to be and all the cool stuff. And self-reflection and introspection is really, really important. There's the half hour. I know that's always about a half hour because this always does this right at 30 minutes, which is kind of funny. Which means I don't, it does look, you just see like the light flicker or something a little bit. But if you only have a few seconds, take a breath. And just let it out. And in that breath, just think everything is temporary. And I'm taking a breath to help clear my head, or whatever you feel like saying it. Remember, that's your homework. Put some cool things in the chat that you might say when you only have one breath to clear your head or to get through it as fast as possible. If you have a few minutes, take a little walk. Just do some laps around, unless that makes people nervous. And, you know, if you need a couple hours, maybe fill it with some other fun things. Or maybe separate between work and play. And remember, never underestimate the power of floating. Oh, also, the thing I was going to get to that I forgot to, when I decided to leave teaching, it was June 20-something when we had our last day, and I gave myself up until July 1st in 2021, that year, to just not think of anything. You know, that was a break for everything. And then it took a couple more weeks because I was having PTSD nightmares every day. When that school year was done, it was very, very strange. But I just want to say that taking a break is important because, and if you have to carve out some time, start with that one breath. And then budget time for your family or whomever, and get a couple of minutes, because just a few minutes can change your months. Or years. Just giving you a sense of reassurance that everything is going to be okay. Remember, everything is temporary. And these are the last chords. And I don't know if I'll do one of these next week. I might take a break off from this for myself. But no, actually I might record it early and do it that way. Because I do know that next week is my halfway through my 7.5 year project of leaving teaching early. And I'm going to talk about everything that made me choose that and all that stuff. And I'm really excited about sharing that. So I can unpin that message on my Facebook that's been there for almost 4 years there. But here's the last chord, and I love y'all, and have a great week and all that good stuff. And love you, bye!